Hi,
Hi, Isaiah.
how are you?
I'm good, thank you. How are you?
Good, good. Are we going to take the picture or
I think they do it at the end.
at the end? Okay, okay.
Yes.
Okay, so you say you're doing well?
I am doing well. How are you?
I'm all good. It's a little hot outside, but it's
Where are
all
you
good.
where are you calling from?
I'm in Chicago. So,
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
now the weather's starting to pick up a little bit. So, well, we are in June, uh
Exactly. Yeah.
But I just wanted to ask you, wow, I wanted to tell you that my first introduction to you was, I guess, it was in Gotham, where you played Larissa
Copperhead.
Diaz,
Yeah.
Copperhead.
Yes.
Yeah, what was that experience like? Because it was just that
Amazing.
one episode, right?
Is everything all right?
No, Master Bruce, this lady's been involved in a car accident. Run.
Yeah, just one episode. I really loved working on that show and with that cast. They were fun. That cast had a very similar kind of energy to the Lucifer cast.
Okay.
So, and we actually shared some directors that went between two shows, and they were like, "Oh, you guys are so similar." But no, I had so much fun. I'm still in contact with Ben and Sean.
That's awesome.
Yeah. No, it was a really, really fun experience.
Were you a fan of? I mean, did you watch like the later seasons after you were?
Yeah. When
Okay.
Jada joined, I'm like,
Oh,
my
yeah.
God, and she scooped her eye out. I was just like, so you need to have me. Yeah, no. I really, I did. I supported that show and
That's great.
Enjoyed it. Yeah.
Was at the time, was that character a one and done character, or were there potential plans for her to return?
I don't know. There was some kind of talk I remember, but remember Lucifer was airing straight off.
That's true.
At one point, so it was
That's right.
kind of weird to see, the same actress playing two different DC comics, but like back to back, on a
Right.
Thursday night. But I was happy. Listen, I was just happy to like go shoot in New York. That was always a dream of mine to go and work, on a show in New York. So there's nothing like it. There's no city like it.
Oh man, yeah, I have to go there. Out of every project that you've done up until this point, was there like a performance in a TV show or movie that you did where you like, yo, I did that, I nailed that? Because I know that it's ultimately up to the director on what they show, right? So it's like you may have an idea in your head that you did well, but when you look at something, you're like, you might try to pick it apart,
I would probably say Mazikeen.
Mazikeen?
I would say Lucifer because I got to see this character from beginning to end.
Awesome.
So, and you'd think it's the director who has the final say, but it's not. There are many cooks in the kitchen. There are producers and writers and even us as actors. I think over 6 years you build trust with your producers, and they trust that you know your character and you know exactly, what you're doing, and you're thinking about a long-term sort of journey. But yeah, I would say Maze on Lucifer because I got to grow with her. I
Right.
really had a lot of input into her, into the way she sounded, the way she walked, the way she dressed, her makeup, her hair.
Oh, the way she dressed. That was that.
Yes, that was all me in collaboration with.
Wow.
With the costume designers and the team, and they were very open to my ideas. So, I'm very proud of that because I think that is a huge part of her personality, how she enters a room, how she presents herself,
Right.
And it tells a story. So when she was bounty hunter, her stuff was a little bit more like jackets, some denim, and,
Right.
black denim and like boots that were more comfortable because, and then when she kind of, as she was, with Eve and some of more of the celestial characters, some of her more kind of extravagant, crazy outfits, which just seems like a normal outfit to her.
Oh, right.
Yeah, so I was very proud of that. So yeah, I'd say Maze.
So what do you think is what is the biggest challenge when taking on a character like Maze? Is there
not to play her one note? Just be a badass, just be tough, just be hard. I think we've all seen a version of that, in TV.
right?
But I think the challenge with Maze is walking the fine line of exploring her humanity and her growth, her vulnerability, but at the same time you can never forget she's a demon, because she can, like, within a switch, go there, you know. So there was always that fine balance of, like, how much heartbreak does she show, when does she show it, you know.
Oh, man,
when does she, like, eat her feelings and just swallow it and push it down and revert back to some of her old behavior, you know.
Oh man, that's awesome. Do you get nervous when you're on camera?
No, I love
you just escape.
I love what I do for a job. I would say now, no, I created a home. You know, probably my next project, I'm doing this film when you're with a new group of people and a new director and not your castmates that you're familiar with for 6 years, maybe then, sure. Yeah, no, but that's good. I love that. I love the butterflies in the stomach and because that makes me feel like I'm alive, you know.
Right. You know, one of the appealing factors for me about Lucifer are the characters, and even like the villains too. It's like the villains aren't one note, and this is technically a comic book show, but it doesn't feel like a comic book show, you know. And I watch a lot of comic book shows, and they tend to fall in the same sort of one note villain. You know, I will destroy the world, and you know, world domination and all this other stuff.
Well, I think we flip our villains. You know, we flip things around. You have angels who are doing things that you know, and that's a lot of. I think those are metaphors for self-reflection. You know, is it really a man in a nice suit making me do horrible things, or am I making bad choices? So it makes you take responsibility for some of your own shit, essentially.
Yeah.
You know, not blaming it on the devil. You know, and I think that's what's cool about the Lucifer graphic novels is they're so huge. You know, the Sandman series was just, huge, thick ass novels, but we could only take a tiny sliver of him coming to LA and attempt to tell our version of that story. We're definitely not a tights and cape kind of comic book show.
Oh yeah, definitely not.
But I think what's cool about our show is we merge the real with the supernatural in a way that makes it, if you are not a big comic book fan, it doesn't feel like you have to know the entire history of that character in order to get why they
exactly.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. You know what's funny? I actually didn't know he was a comic book character until I saw Crisis on Infinite Earths, that big crossover back in 2019, where Tom Ellis, Lucifer met Constantine.
That's right.
Yeah. So I'm like, oh, because at first I'm like, why is he in here? Yo, is that Lucifer? How is this happening? Like, I honestly didn't know. Yeah. And then people were telling me like he's part of the comic book. I'm like, wow, there's a comic book about Lucifer. Yeah. So that's pretty dope.
I know. And I feel so lucky that I got to play like one of, you know, like one of the three big characters in that comic book.
Yeah. That's pretty dope. So like I'm so with Mom's character in season 2, what was it like just working with Trisha in that season?
I love Trisha. So I worked with Trisha before Lucifer. Actually, I was
in that zombie show.
Killer Women.
Killer Women.
She was the lead on that show, and I was the killer that episode. And so that's why I met Trisha. She was so lovely, and having her, I think Trisha naturally has this grace, you know, that I love, and she is so statuesque and was so perfect for Mom. And then it was fun to have her back as well, you know, in season 5B, to have her return and kind of close off that story. But no, she's fun. Her and I she's a tomboy like me. You know, we grew up real similar and yet very differently, you know, as girls who like to do boy stuff.
Yeah, boy stuff, exactly. So like, what is your favorite season?
Ooh.
Is it always like the next one, or?
I don't know. I think I have some pretty amazing stuff in season 6 that obviously people like. Amazing stuff as in like I really enjoyed doing it. I don't know. I always said like season 4 when we came to Netflix was really exciting, you know, and we got to do like some really different cool stuff. But maybe it's the pilot, maybe it's the first season, because we had no idea what the fuck we were making. We were like, this is a weird show. It's funny, and then there's cop procedural, and then so. But I think we're running out of time. Let's take our photo.
Okay, cool.
All right, I'll take that snapshot in 3, 2, 1. Perfect. I'll let you say your goodbyes.
All right, this was an absolute honor meeting you. Hopefully you do something like this again.
Yeah. I think next year we have the cast is doing a bunch of stuff. Maybe in person. Hopefully it's safer.
Okay.
But yeah, nice chatting to you.
Nice chatting to you too.
Have a great day.
You too.
Bye.